I'm going to briefly review what we currently know about the status of whales, dolphins, and porpoises in the East of England region, and the methods we use to collect that information, as this allows better interpretation of the strengths and limitations of the data. We started collecting sightings data on cetaceans back in the 1960s. Then in 1990, we established a network of observers on a regional basis, split into 35 regional groups with coordinators to help organize watches, collect data, and recruit observers. Around 4,000 observers contribute sightings, and the database now contains around 335,000 records. Many are casual sightings, but we encourage effort-based observations, both from land and at sea, to complement our own dedicated line transit surveys. The more data we have, the better we can reduce biases, allowing us to better interpret trends. This applies particularly to coastal regions of the southern North Sea, where cetacean abundance is relatively low. The aim has always been to encourage the general public to collect data in a standardized way as citizen scientists, and to enlist the support of marine professionals from a wide range of backgrounds, including fisheries, the energy industries, merchant and Royal Navy, wildlife trip operators, and other marine mammal scientists. This has required running dedicated training courses for target groups and developing a range of training aids. Cetaceans are intrinsically difficult to identify, so where possible, we encourage the provision of photographs to confirm species identification, facilitated through the widespread development of digital cameras and smartphones. Data is submitted by various means, but primarily through our online sightings forms, allowing recent sightings to be viewed by region on the SeaWatch website, and our free SeaWatcher app that incorporates slide and video training aids, allows sightings to be entered and previous ones to be reviewed in tabular and map form. Sightings data can be overlaid upon physical and oceanographic features such as bathymetry, seabed type, sea surface temperature, and primary productivity, as well as human activities such as fishing, vessel traffic, offshore renewables, and marine protected areas. 15 cetacean species occur in the region, but only 4 are regular inhabitants: the harbour porpoise, bottlenose dolphin, white-beaked dolphin, and minke whale. I will focus upon those 4 species. To interpret trends in such highly mobile species, I will draw upon patterns in the wider region and compare with earlier time periods. Harbour porpoises are common and widely distributed in the region. There may have been an increase since 2010 along the coast between the Humber and the Wash, but without greater effort-related watches, it's not possible to say. The species occurs year-round, but with peaks in spring and late summer. The number of sightings was similar in 2023 to the previous year, but less than half what they were in 2021. Although recorded throughout the year, sightings in 2023 peaked in spring and late summer, as indicated here. The greatest number of individuals was in August, when mean group sizes tripled, sometimes numbering 10 or a dozen animals. This is the peak mating period. Bottlenose dolphins were scarce prior to 2010, with isolated visits mainly involving small groups of animals in winter. These maps show well the expansion of species occurrence, both spatially and seasonally. In 2023, there was a sharp increase in the number of sightings, with groups seen regularly. The occurrence of the species along the east coast of the UK is depicted well here, with greatest numbers of sightings in August and September. August and September were also the months with the larger group sizes, averaging 8 to 10 animals, and in Yorkshire, sometimes numbering 15 to 20 individuals. Every year for the last 20 years, at the end of July, we hold a National Whale and Dolphin Watch, where many sites around the UK are manned over the same week with effort-based watches. This provides a useful snapshot of what is occurring in coastal waters, Here are 3 sample maps at 5-year intervals up to 2023, and they show very clearly the southward spread of bottlenose dolphins along the east coast. The East region marks the southern boundary of the main range in the North Sea of white-beaked dolphin and minke whale, both of which are less common in the southern North Sea. It is therefore not surprising that we have relatively few sightings of white-beaked dolphin here, with no obvious trend across the years. Most sightings are in late summer. The same applies to minke whale, although in 2023 there were sightings also in January and February, showing that some individuals are overwintering. In 2023, 3 other cetacean species were sighted: common dolphin, long-finned pilot whale, and humpback whale. Both common dolphin and humpback whale are being seen increasingly in the North Sea, including the southernmost part. 2 common dolphins even swam many miles up the River Great Ouse into Cambridgeshire. Cetaceans face a wide range of pressures from human activities, and the main ones are shown here. Each pressure has been assessed for the North Sea by the ICES Working Group on Marine Mammal Ecology. Greatest threats come from fisheries conflicts and chemical contaminants, shown in red there, followed by underwater noise, shown in yellow. For most species, the biggest cause of human-related mortality comes from entanglement in fishing gear, particularly static gill nets. And in the 1990s, this was a major conservation concern for harbour porpoise in the North Sea. In the last 2 decades, however, gill netting in this part of the North Sea has declined a lot, most occurring now in the Eastern English Channel, as shown in green on this map of the seasonal overlap between porpoise densities and gill netting effort. To conclude, of 15 cetacean species recorded in the waters of East England, live sightings of 7 species were reported in 2023. The most frequently observed species was the harbour porpoise, with numbers of sightings as in 2022, but less than in 2021. The species was recorded in every month of the year, but with a peak in August when average group sizes increased. Bottlenose dolphins were recorded between April and December, peaking in August and September. There has been a steady increase in sightings in the region, reflecting the continued southward extension in range of animals from East Scotland, as confirmed by individual matches of using photo ID. White-beaked dolphins and minke whales are also regular inhabitants of the region, but are uncommon in coastal waters here due to the shallow habitat and the southern edge of their main ranges. Both were recorded mainly in late summer and autumn, but minkes were sighted also in winter, in January and February. There are many potential human pressures in the region, mainly associated now with contaminants and underwater noise. Gill netting in the area has declined, reducing the risk of bycatch. Year-round effort-related watches are badly needed in the region south of Flamborough Head. I'd like to thank all those persons that have participated in collecting sightings data for us, and particularly the support given by the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust and its members. And I thank you all for listening.